All right, so yeah, the PowerPoints and the VLS are given to us by the college, by IFSI.
Okay.
It's from their curriculum department, so we can't do much to change them. We have consolidated some of them when we have overlapping material, just to shorten the delivery of it a little bit. But yeah, that's the VLS that you attended on Monday night is pretty much, or Tuesday night, whichever one you went to, is pretty much what they're all like. We do our best to keep it interesting, but it is still PowerPoint. It is still online. So
yeah. I mean, he made it not too bad. He wasn't reading off the slides a lot. So
yeah, I try to avoid reading off the slides when I do them, but in the end, I mean, we do have a responsibility to make sure that we presented all the material, so.
So is it Illinois, is it the university that developed the course?
So, yeah, so the way it works is the Office of the State Fire Marshal determines the requirement for a BOF class, right?
Right.
In this case, the Illinois Fire Service Institute developed their curriculum in accordance with the OSFM requirements. So yeah, so the curriculum department, the IFSI, decides what is included in the BOF class, and it's delivered in several different ways. This way, the blended way, it can be delivered in person at what they call the Residential Academy, which is the 8-week program, where you stay on site, and then the MODS program. The MODS program. Pardon me?
Sorry for the. I guess I'm just kind of asking what is it that the Illinois State University has to do with doing it besides?
Oh, the University of Illinois, you mean? Yeah, so we work under the, I guess, accreditation of the University of Illinois is the best way I can put it. So it's, when you go to IFSI, it's just a few blocks off of the University of Illinois campus. And, we get all of our support. I'm technically a University of Illinois employee, but I work through the Illinois Fire Service Institute. So does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just kind of using their accreditation or
authority. Yeah. Lends a little prestige to it, I guess. So
fair enough.
So are you out of the Army now?
Yeah. I retired in 2019.
2019. Yeah, cool. So what was your specialty? What did you do?
I was a signals guy. I was signal commo, did radios. What they called mobile subscriber equipment is all analog stuff. And they went digital, and they told me I was a dinosaur, so I had to reclass or get out. So I reclassed into MI. So military intelligence. I was an all-source analyst.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when the Chinese shoot all those satellites down, they're going to want you analog guys back, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Interesting to see.
Yeah, my dad was Navy for 20. God, I don't know how long. He was a P3 pilot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that an Intel platform? P3.
Yeah. So he did some of that special project stuff when he was active. They did some intel on that, and then when he went reserves, it was mostly they were sub hunters, so dropping sonobuoys and listening for Soviet submarines,
Fun stuff right there.
Yeah, Cold War stuff. So he got out under Clinton administration, so retired as a captain. So,
fair enough. 06, that's a good rank.
Yeah. All right, we're 6 o'clock. We're ready to get started. So I just want to go on record. I generally don't want to do these on Fridays. I know that, most of you are younger and your Fridays are special to you and your weekends, and they are to me too, but this was just a really unique week for me. I'm generally going to try to do them on Wednesday as much as possible, except for when my shift day is on Wednesday. So just because, like I said in the past, I don't want to have to try to teach or do this from work, and it's not fair to you because I'll catch a call and then you won't get the meeting. So every third week, then it would be a Thursday. But otherwise, it's mostly going to be Wednesdays. So I had a 48-hour shift. I did Wednesday and Thursday and went home early on Thursday because then I'm positive for COVID. So, so now I'm stuck in the house till the 31st. So regardless. Anyway, so this is actually our week one, but this is actually our second time getting together, which is good. So I guess I want to start with how did the VLS go? Was everybody able to log in, change their names the way they wanted to?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. So the week, the VLS, I think it takes a little getting used to this learning format, especially for dinosaurs like Nathan and myself, right? Okay. But I think you younger folks are more used to the online virtual world. But like I said in the past, that VLS is really supplemental and reinforces the reading material. And I think that if you don't do the reading, some of that stuff goes past you really quickly and you miss the points that they're trying to make. It gets covered, but I don't know that you would have a thorough understanding of the material if you don't also do the reading. So, and the reading is a little bit of time. It's a little bit of a commitment, right? The good news is that this year the homework is a little less of a commitment than it was last time. So hopefully you have a little bit more time to delve in and dive deep into the reading and do it the way it's supposed to be done. So the other thing with the VLS, that Monday night one oftentimes has more people in it, right? And I've seen up to like 130 people in the VLS on Monday night. It's supposed to be interactive, right? Like that's the whole point of the blended program. Otherwise, we could just make videos and put them out there and you could watch them. But the idea is you're supposed to be able to ask questions, chime in, and and I'm sure you did it through the chat. But I also understand when there's 113 people. Hold on one second. Get over here. My dog's being an idiot. So when there's 130 people on the VLS, one, it may be hard to get your question answered because if there's a lot of chatter going back and forth, or two, you might be intimidated. Some people don't like speaking out in public in big groups, even in a virtual format. I totally get that. And maybe you're afraid your question is going to sound silly, but first, there are no silly questions. This is the basic class. And so if you have a question, something as simple as, and we always go back to this, the difference between an engine and a truck, right? Okay, that's something that you don't know until somebody tells you the difference between an engine and a truck, okay? Don't be afraid to ask those questions. Nobody is going to laugh at you or humiliate you or anything else like that. And secondly, if you can't get past that, that's what these are for, in a smaller group setting. So if you were in an in-person class at college, this would be your discussion group, so that's where this is. So everybody went on, everybody did it. Did you do it in person or do the recording in the VLS makeup?
Was there on
I did the recording.
You did the
I'm sorry,
recording?
yeah.
You watched it recorded? Okay. That's fine. I had students last time who worked every night and they had to do every one of them on the recording and do the VLS makeup. That's fine. It's just a little bit more work for you because you got to do the makeup, but if that's how you have to do it, whatever you got to do to get it done. So, and the good news is now we're doing these weekly chats. So if you have a question now, you can ask and I can try to answer it. So that said, anybody have any questions about the VLS this week? Any questions about the reading? Okay, pretty simple week. This is the introduction week. What is the fire service? What are our rank structures? Our rank structures are unique, right? They're mostly based on the US Navy, just because a lot of our firefighting traditions came from the Navy, because firefighting is so important on ships, right? Okay, that's why our pickhead axe was, originally a boarding axe, right? Okay, that's why we have red and green lights in front of the fire station, because directional lights on boats. So, but our rank structures are unique, and most departments have their own unique take on their rank structure, right? Like my department, for whatever reason, we're a huge full-time department with 150 personnel, and we don't have a captain's rank. We go from lieutenant straight to battalion chief. So don't ask me why, but that's how we do it. So, so every department you go to may be different. I've been out west in Phoenix, and they have, captains, and there's other places where they have sergeants. So, which I've never worked in a department that had sergeants before, but I've seen that. So, okay. So for this week, I sent out an email. I'm going to try to send out an email every week. Just remind you what needs to be done. This week is unique a little bit because it's the first week. So remember, we have to get those action required things done. The student contact form. Somebody here emailed me, they were having a problem with uploading the contact form. Did anybody else have a problem uploading their contact form? And all you had to do was just drop it in, right?
Yeah, as long as you had it completed and saved to your computer in one of the appropriate formats, it's able to drop right into the attachments box.
Okay, because it gave it as a PDF and a JPEG, right?
Yeah, Word doc and PDF.
All right, I'll reach back out to, I can't remember who it was who sent me the email. But it'll get done. But that has to be done. That COVID signature, which is its own tile with a picture of the virus, right? And then the introduce yourself. So I got quite a few of those graded on Friday. They are not all complete, but make sure that those are done. And then the quiz has to be done, right? Like I said, you have as many times to take that as you want up until 23:59 on Sunday night. So after that, it gets locked out. It gets marked as incomplete. I get it reopened for you. You have one more week to complete it. Okay.
And that was a minimum of 70, right?
Pardon me?
That was a minimum of 70 on the quiz.
Yes, sir. Minimum of 70. Yeah. So I'll save homework for the end. I'll actually pull it up and we'll just look at it a little bit. And I can just tell you a little bit about how you correctly answer this stuff. It's pretty straightforward, much more straightforward than previous deliveries. So Mr. Zach there, he has got way ahead and finished his FSVO modules already. So hooray for him. Does anybody here already have FSVO? Because if you already have it, you don't need to retake it. Okay, so just to clarify, I discussed this last time too. The FSVO is a requirement to get the certificate of basic operator firefighter. It's included as a free, basically add-on to this class. Okay, they will not cover FSVO in the coursework. It's just added on and it's made available to you. And it's two parts. It's the online instructional part and then the driving practical. The driving practical is not required from you to get the BOF certification through the Office of State Fire Marshal. It is required if you want to receive the FSVO certification, okay? Which, by the way, you will need as you move forward in your career and you want to get your fire apparatus engineering certification, and start driving and pumping, okay? So you'll need that FSVO practical portion at some point in time. However, we don't provide it. We have no way to provide it to you, okay? But for the BOF certification alone through the Office of State Fire Marshal, all you need is the classroom portion. They just want to know that that fire engines kill people and you're not supposed to kill people with them, okay? That's about what it is, all right? They're big, they're
Isn't
dangerous.
that in general, any vehicle can kill someone if you don't pay attention?
Fire engines are worse. I mean, they're much heavier.
Yeah, you got a fair bit more weight behind you with them.
And they kill other people more than they kill us. So, I think that
is fair.
So I'll put an email out about that as we get closer. It's not critical right now, but just so you guys know, when you're talking in the company, if you already have it, you're not required to retake it. That would be silly. So, okay. And then I think John emailed me. He's already completed his rough draft on his research paper, which that's a go-getter for you, I guess, right? But I do encourage you to go on that NIOSH website and, at least get an idea of the line of duty death that you want to discuss. It's only an 800 to 1,000 page essay, I believe, or 1,000 word, not 1,000 page. That would be a different thing. 1,000 word essay, I think. I mean, it's really not very long. It's about 2 to 3 pages. So, but the sooner you get an idea in your head and you start fleshing out how you want to approach it, I think the easier it's going to go for you. So And to be honest with you, I have quite a few students every time who go over, they just can't contain it to 1,000. And I've asked about that, do I have to penalize for that? And the idea behind it was they didn't want me to have to grade 14, 10,000 word essays. So if I'm willing to grade it, then then I'll accept it. And generally, as long as the material that you include is pertinent to the paper, I don't mind you going above and beyond one bit. If it's just a bunch of filler, then I'll tell you that in the notes. It's probably still not going to penalize you for it, but you don't need to go over either to impress me. 1,000-word essay that is to the point and hits all the criteria is good. Okay, so and it's a pass fail anyway. So okay, I am going to see if I can share screen and pull up the homework here. All right, can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. So this is the week 1 assignment. Has anybody done it yet?
Yes.
Okay, good. So a couple of you. And this is really straightforward stuff. And again, like I said, the idea here is they want it to be objective. They want it to relate to the reading material so that when you challenge the exam, you will have a thorough understanding of the material that you're being examined on. So for instance, like this one here, explain the mission of the fire service. And you can use the book. You need to use the book, but you can use the book in a way where it's going to help you quickly find the answer. So, the first place to start is in the glossary, and so you look at section A, Firefighter 1, chapter 1, the very first title, fire service mission and organization. And it gives you the page number, right? And so you go right to that page number and it'll tell you. And right under the heading, fire service mission, right? Fire service mission is usually mandated, blah, 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 blah. It gets down to the mission of fire service is to save lives and protect property in the environment from fires and other hazardous situations. Bang, you have just defined the mission of fire service, okay? So no need to come up with your own answer for it. I'm really looking for the answer out of the book. I want evidence that you have read it, right? Okay.
But
that's pretty straightforward on it.
We use our own words.
Pardon me?
Is it okay if we used our own words?
It's okay. It's fine. The ideas there in the book need to be incorporated into your answer. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. So, and then each of these has, and the only thing I'll say is make sure that you answer all of these objectives and all these parts of all of these objectives. So here we have, 6 different parts and or 6 different objectives and something like 12 different parts, right? Am I going to fail you because you forgot to do D in number 2? Probably not, as long as everything else is good, right? Okay, but it does demonstrate your attention to detail, right? This is the fire service, where every morning we have to do everything right, and we have to be obsessively ready to go, and make sure that our tools are working and our air packs are right and our gear is laid out, so that's attention to detail, and it affects the way we do our work. It affects our safety. It affects, the public safety. So try to put that same attention to detail in the homework that we're doing, okay? That said, I get it. We're human beings, and I want you to pass. I'm going to help you succeed. So if you miss something, I'll send you a reminder and give you an opportunity to fill it back in, okay? All right. So, and then some of these, I just want you to put the full definition down, so for instance, describe fire department programs intended to reduce firefighter illnesses and injuries. I gotta find where that is.
Should be under where it talks about NFPA 1500.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look for the page number. Page 24. So that's gonna be, and so these questions, they're written kind of like an easy way for you to figure it out. Reduction of firefighter illnesses, injuries, and fatalities is a heading in the chapter, and that's exactly, word for word, programs to reduce firefighter injuries, illnesses, injuries, and fatalities, right? And so what you have is, you have all of the different, like you said, NFPA, USFA, NIOSH, right? And then you have the 16 firefighter life safety initiatives, okay? So that's a program designed to reduce injuries, illnesses, and fatalities, okay? And there are 16 of those in the 16 life initiatives, okay? It's quite a bit, but that would be a complete answer if you wrote down all 16 initiatives, right? Okay. And then the safety stand down, right? Like everybody know that this month is Cancer Awareness Month. Okay. It's for firefighters. It's very, very important. I've had several firefighters that I worked with who have retired who then very quickly came down with cancer. None of them have passed from it, but their lives were significantly affected by it, you know. So, and then, you know, on top of that, you know, mental health awareness. And this is just me going off on a personal point. You know, we've lost people in the fire service quite more than we'd like to due to mental health issues. And that includes, in my opinion, you know, addiction, right? So, so that would be how you would answer that. So I just think these are pretty simple. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say here, but I think if you just go through the book and you look for the wording in the book that matches the wording in the question, you're going to very easily come up with the answer. And you can pull it right out of the book. Like I said, take the time to write it out yourself. Please don't copy, cut, and paste off of some digital file. It's generally pretty obvious to me because the fonts don't match and stuff like that. And I just don't feel like you're doing your work at that point, you know. That's really all. Everybody knows how to submit the work? Like I said, you can do it in a Word document, cut and paste it and drop it in.
Actually, I ran up into a hiccup there.
Okay.
I did it in a Word document. It would not allow me to copy and paste it, but I am able to save it and attach the file in the connectable files box.
Okay. So the reason why you can't copy and paste it, because are you doing it through the right click?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why so the platform is called Moodle, and Moodle will not support the right click. You just have to use the keyboard shortcut, which is Control V.
Okay.
And it will drop it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will resubmit it with that then.
Yeah, and I believe that's actually in your, not in your syllabus, but it's in the introduction or one of the documents in the orientation. So, so Control V. But when out of your Word document, obviously you can right click. You can copy it through the right click, but when you drop it into this text box, you have to use Control V. That's all. So
okay.
Other than that, it will work because I do it all the time when I grade. So
okay.
Okay. So that is all I really have. I don't have a whole lot. I just want to make sure I give everybody an opportunity. So again, so on the material, any questions on any of this stuff on what we did this week? Anything that needs to be clarified before you complete the homework? Marissa, thank you for showing up. I know you're at work, so I appreciate the commitment. So, okay. If you guys don't have anything, I don't have anything more. So I just wanted, this is our first week, and I know a lot of times we have I just have a lot of, you know, like people struggling to get their homework submitted or figuring out how it all works. I just want to make sure we're not having any of that. We can get ahead of it. But this group seems to have it all under control. We discussed the keyboard shortcut, so that's good. Make it a little bit easier for you. All right. Well, thank you all for attending. And then next week will be on Wednesday. Is that cool? Is everybody good on Wednesday? I just don't want to try to do it on Monday or Tuesday because you're going to spend 2 hours at a VLS anyway. I don't want to make you sit in front of the computer longer. So, okay.
Yeah, I still work, but if we're not busy, I can step away.
Yeah, I totally get that. You got to work, you got to work. And like I said, I will always record it and I'll upload it and send a link out, you know? So, and then if you have a question, you got to get a hold of me. You text me anytime. I try to check my email at least once a day. Like I said, generally in the evening. So I get people email me at 10 a.m. I might not get back at 5. This week was a little bit weird because I was on that 48-hour shift and then got sent home. So it took me a little bit to get back to some people. But other than that, generally I'm pretty good at it. But you can always text me. I will try to answer you as quickly as I can. Again, if I am on shift, I'm on a call. Clearly, I'm not going to answer you right away. And you can call me too. I'll answer as much as possible. So, okay. All right. thank you again for so much for showing up. I'm sure you guys are gonna kill it, clearly you're committed, so, and can't wait to see what you guys did this week, okay? All right, thank you all.
Yep, have a good one.
You too.
Have a good night.
You too.